Okay, folks, now let's start a new one here. It's a slightly different take on things. Now, you seem to enjoy these quick ones, these 45-minute to an hour ones, small types. Really like the tonalist aspect of it. So I'm going to be doing a few of those as of late. Now, so what I've got here is some phthalo green and oxide red. Get that nice dark. Little bit of ultramarine blue in it and a tiniest bit of yellow. A little bit more. Okay, now bit of mineral spirits. So we get get ourselves a nice dark down here. We'll kind of create a horizon here. Now this is basically near enough from mind here. Okay, just getting that in. Now let me put in a bit of a tree here. Just a bit of a rounded real tree. There we go. And get a bit of grasses in. So now okay. Now let me just check to see where this tree is. Just bring it up a little touch and not being afraid of it, folks. Just making sure that let me get this covered. Now there's we've got this nice orangey tone. Hi folks, just a wee quick announcement. I've started one of those new member thingy-majigs. I would really appreciate your support. It helps the channel and it helps me. Just click the wee join button below the video. It's only a couple of quid a month. Anyway, thanks folks, it's very much appreciated. And now let's get back to it. Down. It's actually what it is, it's oxide red if you look at the palette here. It's this oxide red here. And I put it on with a little bit of the mineral spirits on it. Almost, I wouldn't say let it dry, but give it 5 or 10 minutes and then wipe it off and it comes off this nice orange color. It's a nice deep color. Right, so now while I have that green down, this green here has a good grayer out of a violet, which I'm going to put along the sky here. So a nice, I'll probably have to get myself, I will get myself out some cadmium red for myself. There we go. Now I want a nice violet, greyish violet, but violet nonetheless. And let me see. That's okay. It's not so bad. Now I'm going to grey it out a touch. Now what I've got here is just a little bit of mineral spirits. And let me see. What do I think of that? What do I think of that? It's a bit bright. I'm just going to knock it back, and I'm getting this green, and this green will really help to grey that violet out. It's a really good way to desaturate it a touch. Now a lot of what I have down here is, let me see. Oh, that's nice. Now the paints that I have out here, they've been laying on the palette for a bit, so they're a little tiny bit dry on it, and so I'm having to kind of work it, you know. Anyway, there we go. Get this in. I think that's a bit dark for it. I'm actually going to brighten that up a bit. So I think the contrast for me is off a touch. So a little bit of, if I'm using white, I always like to use a little bit of liquid because it'll help it be dry for the following day. Not that I always come in the following day, but it gives me the option to come in and work on it. Right, okay, so we're moving up into the sky here. So let me just give myself a nice reddy orangey color here. A little bit of this in it, just a touch in it, help grey this out a bit as well. Bum, bum, dum. And I am trying to keep this nice and fast for you folks, you know. Just let you come along after your days of work. And a little bit of cadmium red. Just moving away from the source of light over in this corner over here. And a little bit more over here. I'm just going to work these two in here. Give me a bit of a gradient. Oh, it's nice now. Yes, happy enough now. That's not bad. Okay, so just a slightly different brush. Not a slightly different brush, a different brush. Okay. Can you have a slightly different brush? You know what I mean. Now, I've got this sky color down here, nice and bright. Oh, a bit more liquid on it. It's too thick. I want the viscosity to be a little bit less than what that was there. So that's nice. Just work that in. There's a bit of a gradient going on there. All right. Now, as much as I'd like to work fast, and I do, I'm just going to slow down a bit here. Just getting in and around this tree a touch. I want to add a little bit of blue to it, just to give us the sense that it's a bit of a sky as well, you know, up in here. There, isn't that nice? Nice and grey. As a cerulean blue does, adds a lovely greyness to it. Now I probably won't finish this in one sitting. I will most likely come along. Look at that, that's nice now. No, I'm actually going to make the decision now that I won't be finishing this in one sitting. I don't like doing that anymore. I used to do it that way, but not so much anymore. Right, so what am I looking for? Just a bit of a smallish brush that I can use here. That's a bit too hard. I picked one up there. It's a bit too hard for me. Okay, let's get these background trees in. So some black there and a good bit of red in it, and I'm mixing it with the green that's down, and a little bit of spirits. Now here we go. First. Look at that. Okay. Just having we look at the levels. I'm taking a step back here. Having we look at my levels. There's some lovely blacks created with the colours that are on the planet. Like a lovely black or a lovely dark. It's not accurate to say that it's black, but is a phthalo green and a mixture of raw umber and oxide red can create a nice dark. And just let that dry up a little bit there. And might as well, while I have it on the brush, just bring this down a bit. And bring it down across here. Using this tree here. Okay. I think I want the tree to be a little bit broader, but it'll be. I'll wait until I give myself a moment and take a step back. Is what I'll do. Yes, that's a bit of a better option, right? So let's get ourselves. There's a raw umber now. A nice raw umber. A little bit of cadmium yellow. Actually, a good bit of cadmium yellow. Tiniest bit of oxide red. Tiniest bit. And a good bit more of cadmium yellow. Okay, and some spirit. Some spirit. Oh, yes. Lay this in nice and rough. Folks, nice and rough. Trying to leave behind a lot of texture. Okay, now let me see. And then I'm going to go and ruin that texture by doing something completely different. Oh, I forgot about my wee water thing. I always like to put in a water thing, so I do. And I forgot about it. So, I'll do it here. And just so I can get a reflection off that tree. There. Well, let's see. Right, I'm going to use what's already on the palette. Okay, now getting there, folks. I'm just going to be using this as a background painting. That's all. So, because I have already decided, as I said, that I will be finishing this off, not as a one piece. Okay. Now, little bit of heat in this reflection, so I've put a little bit of oxide red on it, and now this is the reflection of the tree that I'm bringing down here. Very good. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to soften it. Just a touch along here, bringing this down a bit. All right, nice. Well, let me see. Where are we? Where is my things here? Okay, so this is just going to be basically I'm just going to put yellow on this and see where it goes. Look at that, just going to dance this all around. No messing about. Look at that. Just dancing that about, folks. And then after all that texture, I'm just going to brush it off. That's not really what I'm doing. There's still some texture being left behind, especially with this brush. I'm just joking. Okay, so now we're getting there. I'm coming down to the base here, so I want a nice dark base and warm as well, just down in here. Just being soft where I need to be and rough where I need to be at the same time, folks. It's a game of contrast. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of kitchen roll. I'm going to create my own texture. Just dabbing it in here and there, just lifting a little bit of what's here. And that will give me an opportunity to, look at that. Yeah, that's all right now. So it is, it's all right now. It'll give me an opportunity to come along and put on textures on top of that and leave a little bit of that behind. I want to work on this tree here a little bit. A little bit. I open the corners here. The corners of the tree. It's going to be spread out now over the already wetted surface here. And the wetted surface being the white of the sky. And all I'm doing is just creating I'm going to be creating a soft edge. But for the time being, just letting it develop as naturally as it can. Just softening this edge now. Just letting that work for you this time. Working the sky into the tree here. That's all. Now I'm just taking a moment to step back. I think I'm just going to cover this just a touch. I like that wee bit of red just showing through there. Now what I need is a slightly darker, as I'm moving down the tree here, a slightly darker tone. So I'm going to use that phthalo green, little bit of red, little tiniest bit of black in it. Tiny bit of thing there. Oh, look at this. This is coming on. Just trying to not cover it all up entirely here. Being careful. Okay. Getting there, folks. Getting there. A really good, warm, dark here. Just working that in there, folks. You see that now? Okay. I'm going to brighten this up a little bit for you. Just so you can see it a touch better. And there are little bits of this that I'm not too happy with, but I'm still playing. So where is mine? I've got a wee brush here. I'm just going to really soften these edges. Because I really want that to be very ethereal. I want a real mist to it, you know. Just really opening that opens it up rightly now. It does indeed. That gives it a nice tone to it, so it does. And let me just see now. I'm just going to soften all of this along here. A nice soft. As I'm going along here, folks, and this isn't ideal, I must admit. As I'm going along here, I'm kind of changing my mind as I'm doing it. So I am. And it's not the ideal way to do it. No, it isn't, but it is a way. Excuse me. Now, I'm just going to bring this out a touch. Where's my cloth? Where's my cloth? What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. Right, not happy with the shape of this here, so we're just going to bring out the corner of it here. Just out there. Okay. And maybe bring it up a touch. Do you know half my problem is setting stuff down and then not being able to find it again. It can be a terribly annoying aspects of it. Just trying to my best to keep some textures at the base of this here. Now, not quite there yet, folks, not quite there yet. I think I'm going to put a little bit of a sun in this. I think so. Yeah, let me just see here. I think my finger would be too big if I tried my finger. So I'm just going to, now all this is a wee cotton bud. And I'm just going to twist it here. Now, I'm sorry if my head is in the way. Okay, it gives me a starting point. It's not exactly great, but it gives me a starting point right there. And it'll be a bit bigger than that. And, I'll use my wee fingies, but I don't think it's going to work. Nah, let me see. I'll just go gently with my index finger. Okay, that's a bit better. That's a bit better. Now I'll let that dry before doing anything with it. Okay, so let me now work with the hedgerow here. So I want a nice cool and a nice orangey rim to it. And you're barely going to be able to see it because it's going to get mixed in up with the violet here. And that really softens those edges too. Okay, very nice. Okay. Now where's my little softening brush? There it be. Oh, that's good now. And I think what I'm going to do is in order to create the light, I'm going to remove this just to create some light for myself in the back here. And the odd one here and here and here. Okay. Now that's creating the light for myself by removing the dark. That's what I done there. And now I'm just looking for a proper brush here. Okay, now let's blend this together. Let's get this working together. Let me see. It's a bit too much. It's a bit too much for me. That's better. Look at the way that has really softened it down a bit. So it has. Yes, that's better. Now the same here. Bum, ba, da, bum, bum, bum. I think it allows me to get myself a nice gradient here now. Okay, now, bearing in mind that this is the reflection here. Okay, now we're talking. Now let's just reshape this a little bit here. As I say, I'm finding it hard to get myself happy with this, the shape of this. So I am finding it a little bit difficult to like this, the shape of this. So I'm going to make it so. I'm going to make it the way I want it. Yeah, that's a bit better. Maybe bring the base up a touch more. But I can actually do that a little bit later on. Yeah, look at that. That has a better layout. At least I think it does anyway. Right, so let me see where I stand here. I think I want the base of that tree to be a little bit broader. A little bit broader. Okay, so let's make the tree a little bit broader. I get some more umber in this oxide, in this phthalo green and oxide red mix. A little bit of blue. Nice and dark. A little tiny bit of black, not much. Okay. So I'm just going to spread this out a touch. Don't really want to cover up the work that I've done there. But if needs be, then needs be. And because there's a little bit of light coming from this, I'm going to put a bit of a shadow here. It's going to be soft. Barely noticeable once I work it in. But it's going to be there. Just making this a touch wider. I kind of would like it a bit more squat, even than that. I would like it a bit more squat. Let me see here. Just along here. Yeah, let that kind of almost lean over that sun there. Now, give me some darks here. I'll work that in. And then I'll soften. Oh no, that's good now. All right, okay, that's a bit better. I'm a bit happier with this now. So yeah, now nice and soft, nice and soft. Look at that. Okay. Now. All right now. Now the same along the base here, nice and soft. Nice and soft, folks. All right, now that's better. A little bit brighter along here and in here, just to slightly accentuate that, shadow there. Let me see, just here and here. Just lightening that the edges of that shadow a little bit. So it just sticks out a little bit more. Now I'm going to really soften this down. Well, this is where we are at the time being. There we go. Now, where's my... There it is. Nice and gentle. I'm working that in. Oh, okay, now, better. Feeling better about it? I think I need to redo the shadow a little bit. Just along here. Okay. Now, I'm almost done for tonight. I think. And when I come back tomorrow, I'll put a bit of texture in the grasses. I'll fix up that sun, and obviously I'll fix up the sky. But what I will do, just to save myself a little bit of hassles tomorrow, is that I will wipe out a little bit of this sky here. Okay, and you just can see that. And then I'll be able to work on that better tomorrow. I might lighten this area down here a bit, but I'm not quite on that yet. Not quite there yet. So we'll see. I'm just thinking for now. I'm thinking there isn't much more work to do. So this one maybe turn out to be a half hour or whatever it is. A little quick one for you, I kind of like doing these wee quick ones too. Anyway, I'll see you all again whenever it's time to come back and sort this one out. So bye for now. Okay, folks, now back onto this one. Now I'm going to finish this one off here. Just going to take I'm going to lighten this up a little bit, lighten up the sky a little bit. I want more contrast. I'm going to darken this tree a touch here. So let's get to doing these things. Okay. Now that's way too much yellow with a little bit of blue in it just to help the green. And let me see. It's not bad, you know. It's not bad. So it's not. Let me see. Yeah, that's a bit better. This is good. This the finishing of this painting is going to be scumbling and that type of thing. It's going to be a scumbling job and glazing. Scumbling and glazing the whole way. Trying my best not to completely cover up any of the work I've done. So just putting it on very, very, very lightly. I'm going to be wiping off a lot of this. So I am. Okay. Now a bit brighter at the top here. Right. Just up at the top now. A little bit of liquid. This will help it dry. Just up in here. You just let that work down a little bit. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to work this in. This is good so far, but I'm just going to gently work it in with the cloth and the fingies. With the cloth and the fingies. There we go. Now what fell there? Something fell and I don't know what it was. Right, anywho's. Okay, now. A nice yellow here. Just trying to keep the tone of what I'm doing. Nice and bright. Okay, this isn't bad now. A bit of a different brush here. Let me see, just a small one. A little bit of liquid in there, and just to create the idea of a brighter spot right in here. Now you can see that. Yes, that's nice. I'm just gonna take a little bit off this brush now and work that in. That's nice. Gently now, folks. Okay, so give myself a bit of an orange. Bit of an orange color. More orange than, or more yellow than orange. And then just, now what I done there, you didn't see it, is I put some paint on the brush, and then I pulled it off with the kitchen towel. And that just to give me the idea of leaving some on the brush behind. I just don't want a lot on it. That's all. Give me a nice orange streak along there. The same over here. Now I'm going to do a little bit on the tree here, and again just pulling a little bit off the brush, just creating as if a bit of light is popping through there. Okay, that's a bit too transparent, I think, so let me just see here and I'll cover that up. A bit too orange, I think it was. That's okay, I'll cover that up a little bit later. All right, okay now. Very nice, very nice. Now I have to this, before I started, this is completely dry now. I was on this a few days ago and now it's dry. So I'm just letting you know that before we go any further. Okay, so I want to work on that. I want to work on this violet here at the background. Oh, I'll need to put out a little bit of blue, a little bit of ultramarine blue here. Right, let me just. So, a little bit of oxide red. A little bit of cadmium red, a little bit of raw umber, and some blue, not much. And then let me see where this lands. Now, a little bit more red, and a little bit more cerulean. Oh yeah, now we're getting there. Now we're getting there. Let me see. A little bit more blue. Okay. And now just a brighter color. Just brighter than what I have. So let me see. I need to make sure that it's not too grey. I don't really want to be going over this again, if possible. Right. Don't be afraid to go over that sun. Let me see. And then a little bit brighter at the top whenever I get the chance here. And I will use the orange that I created in order to achieve that. Okay. Alright, we're just wiping it off the brush. And then going back in here and using the bright that I already have down. Just to lighten it a little bit. And then taking a good bit of that off the brush as well. And just lightening it along the tip of it here. Along the top. Okay, a little bit brighter. Oh, that's better. Yes, that's nice now. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit happier with that, except for the level here. Just bring this up a touch here. All right, that's a bit better. Now I want to work on the tree here. I want to get the tree settled before I move into any other area here. So, now where is my brush? So a little bit darker at the base here, and this is going to be more of a glaze. So a nice warm dark, oxide red, a little bit of phthalo green, some more oxide red, and some liquid. I'm taking a good bit off the brush, and let me see. Yeah, look at that. Just going in between, just to darken the base of this a little touch, and then bringing that up along here. That's better. That's not bad at all now. And I will use a cloth to work this in. Okay. If my finger is clean, I'll use my finger. Let me see. I hope there's not too much white on this. Yeah, that's better. Just working that in, softening that edge. That's not bad now. Okay, now I need a nice little pointy brush, nice little pointy one, just to put in a few branches here and there. Okay, getting there, folks, getting there rightly too. Let me see, where's my wee brush? This one here will do. So I'm going to go for a nice bright sun here. Little tiny bit of yellow in it, but not much. Just following it around, just outlining it first. That's better. Okay, nice and bright. Now I want a little bit of, I'm going to reshape it a little bit of this. Just bringing this out, just the edge of it a touch. It looks a bit not right. Okay, now a little bit of orange in it here and there, around the edges, along the base, just along here. There we go. Okay, now I need to bring up that. Need to bring this up. Okay, nice warmth in around this here. Just as the sun is hitting it. You just want these edges to have that sunny warmth in it. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now I think I'll brighten it a little bit more. Just a little bit. Just along the top here. Yeah, bit happier with that. And then, while I'm at it, folks, while I'm at it, add a little bit more light into the tree here. Okay. Okay, now get us in a little bit of light shining through that tree. Very good. Now I just need to fix this area down around here. So I'll get myself a nice softish brush. Small one though. Or a smallish one. Alright, now. And again, slight glaze, a bit of scumbling, slight glaze. Now that's too dark, so it is. It's not too bad though, it's very close to it. Very close to it. And we'll just keep that running along the top here. And of course I'll use my fingies to get it working. Now a bit darker because within the gaps of these trees here. That's nice. Just scraping that on, folks. That's the part the part of scumbling, is to just scrape on your color. You're just slightly tone changing as you go along. You're not. That's the point of it. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. Right, now I keep making a mistake here. And the mistake is getting the shadow in the right place. So I'm going to see if I can work with it here. Nice and soft shadow. I don't want, see the sun is here and it's hitting the tree, and I just want that to be a shadow. And I think I've got it. Yes, I think that's a bit better. Just level it off a little bit here. And I think it needs a bit of brightness coming along here. Let me see. Lovely. Very nice. Let me see. Yeah, not bad. Just work that in. Nice and soft. That's better. Much happier with that now. Okay. Now, just having a wee look. A wee look-see. Excuse me. I'm going to work on the water here and the edging of this this water. Okay, so slightly darker than the green I have down here. Slightly darker. I really don't want this to be big edges on this. I don't. I'm going to be, again, working it with my fingy or my finger. Now you see how that creates an edge, and because I'm softening it with the thing here, it makes it a nice shallow edge. All right. Now, let's get myself a nice bright orange here and see where we are. A nice bright yellow, sorry. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit off this brush because I want this to move into, rather than painting, I'm now going to be scumbling this in and using the orange that I have down here and just gently working it in. A little bit more orangey. Just work that in. Okay, now a little bit more orangey than that. A little bit of oxide red on it this time. A little bit more red. Yeah, that's a bit better. I think I'll make a better judgment in a moment. Yeah, I think I'm happier with that. So let me see. Yes, I am happier with that. Excuse me. Lovely. Now, I am going to put in a little dab here and there on the landscape. I'll show you here. Not too bright, but bright enough. Just a little bit here. And a little bit here. Excuse me. Okay. No, it's not bright enough. That was a mistake I made. Just not quite bright enough. And now, no, it's too bright. Okay. Just knocking it back a little bit with my fingers. And then I'll edge the edge of it with my little brush here. Make it look as if it's sitting in the grass, you know, just a little edge to it. That's it. That's not so bad. Okay, now, where's my little white brush again here? Just work this in here. Nice and bright. Okay, and now I like using my wee finger, but it keeps getting a bit dirty, so I'm gonna have to, there we go. There we go. That's nice. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just finish it off along here. A few grasses here and there. I'm not going to be too picky about it. Just a few slightly lighter grasses than what I have down. I'm just checking for, now it's too bright. Just checking for tone here is all. And you hear just my phone going off there. It's just a little reminder for things to do. Now, if you look at if I'm on the palette I'm doing this job, I'm not going to do it with my hand because it'll mess me up a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing down and twirling the brush in order to open up the bristles. I'll do it. I'm pushing down, twirling the brush and open the bristles. And that's what I'm doing over here. And the reason I'm opening the bristles like so is it gives me a nice grassy texture. And I don't really want to be, look at that, isn't that nice the way that turns out? That's nice. I don't want to be putting in too much detail here. Just a little bit of grasses, just in the corner. And I think I am all but done here. And what I want to do and what I will do is just soften it here, go in the direction of the grasses that I want. It's nice. Right, so what I'm going to do is take a little step back and have a look-see, and you know, I think that that's fine. Yep, I'm happy with that, and I'll straighten it up for you to see here. A little bit straighter, and I think that'll do for the time being. At least that's me finished for now, and see you on the next one. I don't know how long this took hopefully about an hour at the most. Hopefully. Anyway, I'll see you all soon enough. Bye for now.